The first thing you should know about my friend Andrew is that he doesn't mind making people feel uncomfortable, especially his wonderful girlfriend Delany, who is a bit more cautious and likely 1,000 times wiser than Andrew or me. She's less likely than we are to jump feet first into an adventure. Stand-up paddleboarding, for example. But while she contentedly waits on the beach for us, Andrew dreams up ways to get her to just try it. He can't help wanting to push her outside her comfort zone. The next thing you should know about Andrew is that he's persuasive, or maybe he's persistent. All I know is that Delany is now very comfortable with his risk-taking, reckless habit of riding a motorcycle. So comfortable, in fact, that she recently bought her own bike, which I'm sure surprises even her a little bit. Spend enough time with Andrew and you'll get comfortable expanding your horizons.
The first thing you should know about my friend Mrs. Filholm is that our friendship started years ago when Mrs. Filholm had an idea for a blog. She had an idea, but she needed a little help with the execution. Not long after we started working together on the first blog, Mrs. Filholm had an idea for another one that would eventually turn into a book and part-time speaking career. Since then, Mrs. Filholm also started the podcast that you're listening to right now, and most recently, she finished another book. The next thing you should know is that Mrs. Filholm can't stop and she won't stop. She gets shit done, and there isn't much that will stop her. If you're going to work with Mrs. Filholm, you always have to keep moving and get out of the way. Welcome to Half My Age, a weekly show in which a 25-year-old adult and a 50-year-old child help each other make sense of the world.
Get out the way.
Keep moving and get out of the way.
To do.
It's not enough to do one. You have to do both.
I guess. Sometimes I need people to help me. You've helped me, Andrew. You don't get out of my way.
Yeah, but I certainly got to keep moving.
You sure do have to keep moving. Yeah, that book is done, and by the time this comes out, for sure it will be available on Amazon.com.
I like that.
I like it too. Let's talk about the official title.
I've been watching your Instagram, and you posted some pages out of the book on your Instagram, and it looks hilarious.
It's really funny.
I'm pretending as if I haven't seen the whole thing already. I love it.
I don't know that you haven't seen the whole thing because I've done pages since we last met.
I've seen a good chunk of it.
You sure have. And it is the official title. Please go buy it, everybody. It's $12 American on Amazon.com, and it is such a good gift for anybody you know who has a teenager or an almost teenager, or heck, a brand new baby. It's still funny. The official title is Teenagers Suck, a memory book for parents during the awkward and awful years. And it's a joke book, as we have talked about it's like a baby's milestones book. It's very much in that look and feel, but instead of baby's first steps, it's baby's first misdemeanor and the first time baby disowned us in public now that baby turned into a teenager. It's very funny. It's also one of the things I did in the last few days of finishing it was make sure that it reflected enough of the positive stuff from my book and my message, Beyond Mama Bear, because it's very negative and very snarky. I mean, of course, it's got this tongue-in-cheek approach to like how much they suck. The title is Teenagers Suck. But I really wanted to make sure no one is going to sit down with this book and like read it. But I just wanted to make sure there were enough positive messages in there. And there are little tips and tricks from my book. And then there are coloring pages of some of the new role models that are from the book. So it's a truncated, it's a companion to my book, Beyond Mama Bear. And I'm super psyched. It looks cool, doesn't it?
It looks great. I can't wait to see it in person.
Me too. And this is the thing. This will come out 11 days from now, so it'll be hot off the presses on Amazon right now within 24 hours. I will have the first actual printed proof in my hands. It's coming tomorrow. So we have not yet seen it, and I know that there may be some little edits I have to make, just making sure all the pages fit and that kind of stuff. So at this point, anyway, by the time this episode comes out, it'll be live and ready. I don't anticipate any hiccups, but there could be. In the next few days, it could be a little bit of crazy, but it'll be great.
You're self-publishing.
Yep, through Amazon Direct.
You're doing all of this, you're uploading, I don't know, do you upload it as a PDF or something? Who knows what magic is going on the Amazon side to turn this into a paperback book.
Seriously, we learned this with this whole Amazon Direct, Kindle Direct publishing. When I did Mama Bear, every one of those books is a bespoke book. There is not a warehouse anywhere of, I think we've talked about
Right, they're printed on demand, huh?
literally printed on demand, every damn book. How cool. I want to see that facility. I think we've talked about it here
I want to see
before.
that machine for
I
sure.
want to see that machine. I want to see that. I want to see that facility so bad. So yeah, they are. So you can't get it like same day delivery or next day delivery because they're literally going to print it, glue it together, and bind it and trim it, and ship it to you. So amazingly cool. And the truth is, I uploaded the files 24 hours, maybe 36 hours after I uploaded the file.
Mm-hmm.
You could get it on Amazon. I don't want people. At this point, I don't want people to get it yet because, like I said, I'm still waiting for the proof, and I don't think I qualify for a pre-sales thing, or else I mess something up. Doesn't matter. So it's technically live, but I'm not telling people it's live yet, and it's a little bit hard to find. And then within 7 days, like the metadata catches up with it, and the look. I think the look inside feature is actually live right now.
Yeah, I just did.
Real
just
cool.
Inside.
Real cool. Yeah, it was a scene. And so this was a book that I hand illustrated. And then I took those pages. It was so funny. You and I talked about, I think off air, the opposite of what most people would do, which, I mean, I would print things off the computer, design a page, and then hand illustrate over it. On a light board, and then took it and then had to make those files digital. It's kind of crazy. But I really wanted the handmade feel for it.
It makes a super cool look.
It's cool. It's cool. And it's actually hand done. And those coloring pages is where it began, is that look of the, scrolly coloring book stuff. So I spent a lot of time second to last step of the process before laying it out and then turning it into a PDF was spending time at good old Kinko's scanning in my pages one by one. I took them to the Kinko's last week for a few test pages and wasn't very pleased with the results, and they ran them through their machine, so the rollers were making marks on my original.
Oh, not good.
I know. So I said, I'll just do it standing here one by one, all by myself. I brought my lens wipes and cleaned off the glass.
Off the scanner bed.
Sure did. And it was, oh my gosh, it brought back such memories. You cannot believe the time we used to spend in graduate school, in theater school, and in New York City doing theater at Kinko's. Oh my God.
Oh, I believe it.
Oh, copying off scripts, writing our own stuff, and then copying off scripts for the people or auditions, plus advertising. And, we were culture jamming, getting people to see our shows and care about our stuff. And, oh my God, I was always at Kinko's making stuff. It was kind of weird and cool to be there again.
I've done that. I've spent it all night at Kinko's once, and there's one Kinko's downtown that is still a 24 hours
True
Kinko's.
Story. Yep.
And it was all because my accounting professor wanted us to print out this accounting project, and it was a massive, multi-month-long project. And what person wants that to be printed?
Printed out, yeah. In this day and age, that's gross. Yeah, I know, and that's the funny thing. And you people, I think, are probably, my kids wouldn't know what to do at Kinko's. And I mean, I am so familiar with all of it, all the different options for bindings and how to jerry rig this or that and how to make. Oh my God! By the way, I hate that whiskey. Ugh. Do you like it?
I don't mind it.
We're celebrating with whiskey because my book is finished, and that's one of our traditions. But I don't like it.
Well, don't finish so many books then if you don't want to drink the whiskey.
I'm gonna have my one swallow of whiskey. There's a little bit left in that glass. I guess I'll finish it. I just don't like whiskey. I had to ask the guy at the liquor store what was a good bottle of whiskey to buy that was decent enough that other people would want to drink it when they come to my house, because I'm not gonna drink it. Gross.
I've been dipping my toe into the whiskey.
I figured
the whiskey
you would
thing.
have done. I was looking for some local, but they didn't have it at this store.
Truthfully, it's not my go-to.
Mm-mm.
But the more I drink, the more whiskey I drink, the less I have to make whiskey face.
I suppose that's true. It's like cilantro, right? It's a thing like that. You get used to the taste. Ugh. When I was on Maui, my cousin had honey whiskey. My cousin Kimberly likes that.
Mm-hmm.
And I actually was going to get some of that today, but the only kind that they had seemed really cheap and just gross. Like nobody would drink that, and then I'd have it. I don't know. Anyway, I have a bottle of fairly nice whiskey now at my house. If anyone wants to come over and drink whiskey.
It's an open invitation.
I also have
a
bottle of tequila that's had like one shot taken out of it by somebody. Nobody drinks it, and I certainly don't drink it. I actually have 2 bottles of wine that are like half full. You'll see them. They're by my back door right now. I can't quite bring myself to just dump them down the sink because I'm sure they're a little bit sour. But I don't want to put them out in my alley for the zombies. But I'm thinking like I should put them in another alley, maybe an alley 10 blocks away.
Bottles of wine, and you don't feel good about pouring it down the drain?
Yeah, I feel like the zombies might want it.
Oh,
there's junkies out there that could use that wine, and they live in my neighborhood. And listen,
They could
I'm
use
thinking
that
it's a
wine.
way that I could distract them away from me. If I start
I
doing
see.
regular liquor drop-offs, not in my alley.
If you start feeding the squirrels in a
Yeah,
different
yeah,
alley,
yeah.
then all the squirrels in your alley will move to that alley.
Doesn't that seem good?
That's not a bad idea.
I know. And so I
Well-
have 2 bottles of half-drunk wine that I'm sure my friends would think were a little vinegary, but the zombies won't care.
Here's what you need. You need a third bottle as a control for science.
Okay.
And then with one bottle, you put it in that faraway alley.
All right.
And then in the other, you remember a long time ago when we moved into the Dollhouse, someone recommended that you break bottles in the alley, so it's an inhospitable place to lay.
Yes.
Use one, just break it in the alley, so that it's glass shards everywhere.
No, not glass shards everywhere. That kind of exists in the alley on a normal basis. It's you smash it like as though over the bow of a ship, and then you have a weapon. Like he meant like that, like broken off glass bottles sunk into concrete in a line,
Like that's
a fence
interesting.
line. That's what that guy was talking about.
I thought he just, because I know that when I've seen people shoot up in your alley before, and they like to just kind of lay in the weeds. And I was thinking if the weeds were full of broken glass, maybe they might not like to lay there so much.
I mean, that might help, but it feels like maybe. I'm just going to show you, I think we can find an image of broken glass bottles on top of fences. That's a thing, Andrew. Yeah, sure. There's stock images.
Not where
They
I'm
sank exactly right, and I don't want to say much more about it because I don't want to be offensive. But it's not where you're from. That's correct. It's other places in the world where literally they will sink bottles in the concrete and then smash them off. It's concertina wire on the top of the fence. Anyway, my camera has been doing everything we need it to do. I haven't found a single condom in the alley. And every time anything happens in that alley, I know about it. One day recently, it was quite windy, and I was sitting back here in the atelier finishing my book, and I think the wind must have been setting off my camera because it kept saying, person detected an alley, person detected an alley. Yep, I have a whole bottle of whiskey now in my house for anybody who wants to come join me. And the book is done. Everybody go buy the book. Soon, I think we'll be able to announce that I'm having, for local people, I hope to have a lunch party. I hope before Christmas. Now we literally get into crazy season, end of October through end of the year.
I was just told before I came over to the Dollhouse this afternoon, I was getting a haircut, and the lady who cuts my hair said, "Oh, and the next time I see you, it'll be holiday season. So try to book in advance because they tend to fill up." It's like, oh Lord,
I know.
And I went to Costco today. They have Christmas decorations.
Oh, sure. Oh, well, yeah, absolutely. Where else did I go today that had them? Oh, IKEA. Andrew, remember last week that my life was in disarray because my stuff from the shelves in my bedroom closet was all over?
Correct.
Handyman came, fixed the plumbing. I have new faucets in my bathtub. Sweet. Everything works. He said I can go ahead and put that shelving unit back in the closet. We shouldn't ever have to get to those pipes. Like, he scoffed at me for saying, what if I had to get to them in an emergency? He scoffed as though, like, my work is good. You're not going to have to get at these pipes. It just doesn't seem viable to me. So I have now spent many a day, oh my God, reconfiguring some shelfy things. That occasion to get that crap out of my bedroom shelves made me just go, okay, literally, I got to throw some stuff away. I have this much space at the Dollhouse. I'm starting to feel, I was talking last week on our program about like I need to throw some hats away. So I sure did. I took a nice big dump to Goodwill. Just like I have 8 hats I haven't worn in years. They need to go to Goodwill. So I did stuff like that. Purge, rethought about how I could move things around to make the space better. One of the shelving units ended up out here, which is great. One thing that I need now, and going forward, I should hope, because I am going to now start pushing it to book Mama Bear gigs, is space, dry space, safe space, plastic bins to hold all the books I'm going to have, Mama Bear and Teenagers Suck. So I've got that right over there, right outside those curtains.
I like a wire shelf. You've got some nice
Baker's
industrial
rack.
looking. Yeah, it looks great.
It's fine. It used to be my closet. Anyway,
Highly
I've been
functional.
Functional, and I've been moving all the stuff around. Why was I talking about that? Oh,
I don't know,
shoot.
so that you've got something to show people when they come over to drink a little whiskey.
No, damn it. Shelf configurations. I was at IKEA. So one of the things I've realized is I have this big cupboard in my like wardrobe in my dressing room, right? And it's got those mirrored doors, and it's filled with like really cool IKEA stuff, like the pants hangers and the drawers that come out, and And so I measured it kind of lazily and went, I'm just going to go to IKEA. If I get 4 more of these pull-out drawers and 2 more shelves for this 18-inch space, this is going to be perfect. Everything's going to fit in here. Brilliant. I just have to invest in that and some jewelry trays for the jewelry drawer. Damn, I have to go to IKEA. So I went to IKEA. I also had to return an Amazon thing, so I went to Park Meadows Mall. I don't like any of these activities. But I also had to buy lipstick, which I have to do at a mall. So I did that there. I figured I could kill those 2 birds with one stone, park in one place. So I went to Park Meadows, returned my thing there. Great. Went to IKEA. Great. 0 human beings to help me at IKEA. One guy in that department was helping another guy, and so intently that he couldn't even look at my eyeballs. Couldn't even give me a minute of can I ask a quick... And so I took the thing and I took their brochure and I went down to the thing, and I am not even convinced that's an IKEA shelf. It must be. Okay, I lazily measured, like I said, just assuming this opening right here is about 18 inches. Well, that's not an option. They've got 19 5/8 shelves and baskets.
Well, I think you're running into the fastener problem again.
I know. I know.
The fastener problem. Those IKEA shelves are probably Madrique.
Christ almighty. So I went to IKEA. Guess what I bought at IKEA? Not a damn thing.
You should never leave IKEA empty-handed. They have the dumbest little 25-cent ice cream cones, and they're so good.
I know, but I didn't want to stand online for anything. I don't need ice cream. I thought about it. That's where I saw Christmas stuff, cute Christmas stuff. I just saw some little
Probably like a little Scandinavian
balls.
Christmas.
Yeah, that I wanted to buy. But I was like, I'm not waiting in line for this, and I'm going to have to come back. I want you to know how much I have carried Aloha this far into my life. We're 2 months in now. Because I didn't freak out. I didn't cry. I didn't throw a temper. My blood didn't boil. I went, this is really a bummer, and I'm not sure that that's a 19 5/8 opening or not, but that's enough of a difference that it's not worth gathering all this crap.
You don't want to buy the wrong one, take it home, unwrap it, only to realize it's the wrong size, and then have to go and return it.
So here's what I'm going to do. Ugh. Come home, measure like a bitch, and go ham on ordering all that stuff. If it indeed, I'm pretty sure those are IKEA shelves, and I can't believe it would have gone I must have measured, like I said, I did a lazy measure, it's about 2 feet deep. Okay, yeah. I think what you can do, I think I've done it already since moving into the Dollhouse. You go online, you order your crap, you put it in your cart, you go pick it up at one fell swoop. They gather it for you. I don't have to walk through the store. Seems great. So that's my next step. I just wanted to report on my state of Aloha.
It sounds like you're Aloha, except that you're talking very fast again. But I can understand. IKEA makes a lot of people talk fast, makes them hot.
I've been talking fast lately. I think it's because I know that's a boring story, and I'm just trying to get through it. So I'll try to slow it the heck down. Can you please tell us what your cliffhanger was last week?
Last week, just before
and my
we left,
open today.
And in your opening today, you mentioned that Delany got a motorcycle, which she 100% did. And it's super freaking awesome, and she's awesome, and she rides it, and I hope she doesn't mind us making her the show art this week, because I think we will.
Oh, of course, yeah. Okay, how'd it go this weekend? You said she was going to practice a lot.
It went great. Did
you get out on the open road?
We went to, kinda. I mean, out on real roads, certainly, but in our neighborhood, which is kind of, we're in a commercial area.
It's a movie set.
So
on the weekends, there's no one there.
On the weekends and after 6 p.m., our neighborhood is totally empty, which is nice. It's a perfect place to learn to ride a motorcycle.
Yeah.
She's doing great.
Good.
She's got her stops down, her lefts down, her rights down, her U-turns. She's signaling. I don't know. I think that the hardest part about learning to ride a motorcycle is just coordinating all 4 of your limbs, because every limb has a job. Mm-hmm. You got the clutch on your left hand, the front brake on your right hand, the throttle on your right hand, back brake on your right foot, and then your shifter on your left foot. So there's a lot of making your limbs work together, and also having enough awareness to see whether or not the light's changing from green to yellow or whatever. It's like learning to drive all over again.
Right. And you said that you learned a motorcycle before driving a car.
Kind of at the same time, I think.
So this is it's a huge skill set. Now, she is a dancer, so she's very used to making all of her and making all of her limbs work simultaneously, doing crazy alternative things.
She gets me like once every 2 weeks. She comes home with a new dance move that's kind of like patting your head and rubbing your tummy.
Yeah, right.
And they're always different, and I can never do any of them. And she's like, "Oh, my 4 and 5-year-olds can do this just fine. Are you? What's wrong with you?"
That's funny. So that doesn't surprise me. She picked it up. It's kind of an athletic thing. Doesn't she have bad peripheral vision? Isn't that problematic on a motorcycle?
She's got one eye that has a little trouble seeing, which I mean it could be problematic, but I wouldn't.
Seems problematic.
I don't
to
think
me.
it's more problematic on a motorcycle than it is in a car.
Okay, I don't know. I don't know. It all just seems very exposed and aware, and I'm not. I mean, you have to be so aware, and I'm afraid of it.
I'm so excited though about this whole motorcycle thing. It's a really cool thing that we can share now.
Yeah.
Because when we're on my motorcycle together, I think I feel a little bit guilty about it. Like I'm having fun, but she's back there probably uncomfortable because it's not super fun to sit on the back of a motorcycle for long stretches of time. And now it's like I don't know. Hopefully something we both enjoy
Totally,
and
that's cool.
can do together.
That's totally cool. And she looks very cool when she takes out her helmet and her blonde hair flies out of it. I've seen her do it. It's real cute.
She looks great on that.
I bet she does. And she has She has the armor kind of jacket.
Yep, we got her a new helmet. We got her a new jacket.
You did?
Uh-huh.
Okay, so a friend of mine.
Now all of her stuff fits, which is a nice change.
What was it before? Your old stuff?
Yeah, my old hand-me-downs.
Okay. So I have a friend who is dating a guy who has a motorcycle and he wants to get her a motorcycle, same thing, like an armored jacket so they can ride more. That he just got her a helmet. Do those jackets automatically have to cost $1,000?
Pretty much.
Yeah. Because, of course, all the girls are going, she's like, so that she can ride the motorcycle more with him, which she enjoys a lot. But she's also going, if he's going to buy me a $1,000 jacket, I'm not going to be a motorcycle jacket. That sounds like a fur. Sounds like a nice leather jacket with fringe, though.
It's such a funny thing. When I started riding a motorcycle, I bought my first motorcycle, I think, around 20.
Age 20?
Yep. Broke-ass college student. Didn't really have a whole lot of money, and I decided to go for at that point, it was probably a 15-year-old BMW, which is a really cool bike. I was attracted to the idea of buying a motorcycle because you can get Ferrari-level performance for like $3,000.
Yeah, cool, right?
Absolutely. But that dream was quickly, I don't know, put to bed or whatever, when you find out just how much it takes to maintain a 15-year-old BMW motorcycle.
Oh, is that right?
But I didn't have janky stuff, but I didn't have super nice stuff. And now that I work a real job, Delany works a real job, shopping for motorcycle accessories is super fun.
I suppose.
But it's all expensive,
It's all farkle.
Helmets are $500, jackets are $500. It's like John Roderick's theory of travel is that you're going to encounter problems. It's inevitable. There's going to be a certain number of problems everywhere you go, at the airport, at the hotel, and every problem is a $100 problem. In the motorcycle world, every problem is a $500 problem.
John Roderick was saying that every problem on a house is a $5,000 problem. I remember 20 years ago we used to say everything's $1,000. Like you want a new swamp cooler, it's $1,000. And now I guess it's $5,000.
I believe that.
Yeah, I do too. It's freaking me out because winter's coming and it feels kind of good, right? The fall is in the air. But it's just funny. I was here at this dollhouse for some crazy snow. I mean, we have seen snow and ice here for sure. But as winter approaches, it's starting to feel a little bit, I don't know. I've never survived a winter here. Something about that. Also, it was a year ago that I moved out of the house, just this week. It was a year ago.
Congratulations.
Thanks. You came up and went on a very sad and slow walk with me around that park that one time, that first night. Yeah, what a weird, disorienting thing. And honestly, actually, to the day, I didn't mean to do that.
What just happened in this last year? What a year.
To the day I put that book up I published a book. I didn't mean to. I actually put the book up when it was ready, and it was just like, okay, time to go. Today is the day. Wasn't quite aware of the date. And then later that night, Tal actually reminded me it was a year ago that we said our goodbyes and went to separate places for the first time. So yeah, what a year.
How do you remember? He reminded you, so he must keep a calendar or something, or maybe that's like the date that lives December 12th, the date that lives in infamy.
Tal is more aware of those dates than I am. Dates that I have friends who are real. It's interesting, who mark dates much more consciously than I do. Tal does keep things on a calendar, I think, and that kind of stuff. And he's much more calendar conscious than I am. I'm just kind of not. Dates mean something. I actually felt real crappy that whole day. And then I went, good golly, maybe there is something about that. My body knows about it. That was a crazy thing. But what a cool way to, celebrate that it's been a real weird year and there's still a lot up in the air, but it was nice to go, I finished a thing. I put a book out there that I'm proud of, and that was to the day. That's kind of cool.
That is amazing.
Yeah.
And it's such a nice, you're stacking up milestones. And in my cold open, you really once you decide to do something, you do it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like get with it, hold on, because this is happening now.
Mm-hmm.
And you just a couple of weeks ago, a few months ago, you had the idea for this book, and it kind of didn't do much for a while, and then all of a sudden.
Yeah, that's right. I had the idea for the book. The coloring pages I started over the winter when I was in my transitional housing, and it was just something to do with my hands because I didn't really have my clay. And then, I intended them to be something I bring with me when I do my Mama Bear presentations, because sometimes people are at tables, and I have been bringing like a little coloring page. It's cool to have something to doodle on and take notes on, and they're funny. And so I started that, and then my friend Kim and I had talked long ago about the idea of kind of this slam book, like a scrapbook for parents, like a jokey one. And then you and I talked about it on this program a few months ago about doing one for divorced ladies, and honestly, that could be a cool follow-up to this book. To mark your first year post-divorce and all these milestones. I don't think I'm far away enough from it to be funny yet. But then, right, so the book was like, I had the coloring pages done, and then I had realized make the coloring pages of the role models. And then that's right, when I was on Maui, I talked to my cousin Kim, and I said, that is the next thing that I can finish. That's the thing I can finish the fastest. Mm-hmm. That's something that I can get done that, as we've talked about here, gives me an occasion to reach out to everybody that's ever known of me in any capacity, really, and go, hey, buy this book, but also remember my other book, and also, more importantly, book me to come to your school, club, whatever, and tell some real funny stuff about teenagers. That will help you.
It will help them. And here's what I'm thinking. So now you've got this cute little coloring book, and it's for, you want to hit people with this ideally before their kids are teenagers and hitting the milestones so they can fill it in as they go.
Yeah.
What you need to do at your talks, you need to add some blank pages in the back for notes or whatever. And admission is at least $10 to get in, and it comes with the book.
Oh, yeah. Right. Yeah. Yeah. We can, we've done that. I've done that before. I've done that model before where it comes with a book, and that's how they're paying for it. And yeah, they guarantee a number of books, and then they include it in the price of admission. Absolutely right. Yeah, whether or not there are notes, there are pages to take notes throughout the whole thing. Yeah, so I got it done, and it did take some turning down, and we've talked about it here over the past month. It did take some focus and some turning off other things, but that was good.
Yeah, you said recently that you've been doing less comedy because you've been focused on this particular thing.
Which makes me, it's funny because it did make me feel at a certain point like a little more lonely, a little more isolated. And then there's Fall in the Air. And then I just went, oh my God, I'm not around the people as much. My gosh, that has been such an outlet for me to just go and be around people every night, and then people that I gradually trust and know, but not know well enough that they're, it's a funny thing. So yeah, so I did dial it back. But it was worth it because I got this thing done, and it is in the can. I think the next step, besides marketing that and my speech, is to record my audiobook. We've been talking about that. I've been procrastinating that one a little bit because it freaks me out. I'm a little bit.
Why does that freak you out? That's such a
I'm
weird
not
thing.
sure about
you spend so much time in front of a microphone between this podcast.
Mastering. It's the mastering of the files. I'm just not sure that I have it and that I know how to do it efficiently and that I understand the process.
But you can record, and you know how to make a good recording.
Yeah.
So the mastering is you can either, once you've got your recordings, you can either do it yourself or not.
Yeah. Parts of it are just, I honestly, okay, here's the thing. When I look it up and when I ask people how do they do it, they actually read the book. How do you not have the sound of pages turning? I'm not kidding. That's like one of the things I don't know how to record an audiobook.
You had asked me previously if you should get an iPad.
Yeah. That's what I think. Do it on a tablet or do it on my computer. I know it is. It's just funny to me that, like, literally, I'm telling you I'm scared of it. And so I'm procrastinating it because of some unknown. And these are the questions that I'm going over in my head, which now I can put out of the way because that's my next project.
Well, knowing that you do, once you get an idea in your head, you see it through. Mm-hmm. And if that's your next project, I have no doubt that this will be finished in short order.
Yeah. By I would think first of the year easily. Yeah. Yeah, because I've got other stuff to do. And truly, the occasion for this book, and the book is receiving, the Teenagers Suck. I mean, in my little social media world, it's receiving a lot of cool attention. I mean, people are psyched about it. And when they see the few pages, they're very funny. And people are literally going, oh my God, this is a great idea. And one of the jokes I tell about parenting teenagers and things I say in my shtick is I'm a new mom because 2 new people live in my house. The babies we brought home with such joy and hope are gone, and they've turned into these worse, grosser versions of the kids we knew and loved. So I'm a new mom, 2 new people living in my house. And I think we should have teenage showers for new parents of teenagers. Parents of new teenagers. And so
what qualifies a parent for a shower?
Well, I mean, if your kid is... literally, if your kid is turning 13, that qualifies. If your kid at age 10 is acting outrageous in a way that the parent is thrown by, and the friends can be on the sideline going, oh, we know exactly what's happening here. So I always say that if you, hey, audience, if you know a middle-aged woman who is clutching her Chardonnay in a death grip, maybe she has teenagers and maybe you should throw her a party. So that's some of the shtick I do. And it does occur to me that this is a great gift for anybody who's just losing their mind because their kid is being a jerk and they don't. And the friends on the sideline, your mother used to do it to me, like, oh, you'll get through it. You know, one of my important things in the book for parents is like look to the other parents who have walked this path. They will very calmly remind you, oh, this too shall pass.
Right. It's better.
Yeah, and so that's it. You can give it to somebody and go, oh, here's a way to laugh at it. It's real funny. And I'm gonna have a chance to tell these little jokes about teenagers. Andrew, you're gonna love this. I submitted to be considered for a contest in October and November. So it starts soon, and I am going up November 17th at the South Comedy Club. So you can come because you can walk there.
Oh, yeah.
So you're in your hood. And it's a clean comedy showcase. I get 5 minutes. Everybody has to do clean comedy, and it's a competition. And it's a bracketed competition, and then you move to the finals. And a few people, I don't know how many at the end, will win the right to do opening sets for national touring people during the holiday season, and paid. You get a little bit of money and your set tape for free if you make it to the competition. I don't expect at all that I will win, but it is a clean competition. You have to do holiday clean because at Comedy Works all through the holiday season, that's when people are bringing their office parties and cashing in their free passes they got and having girls' night out and stuff, and we have to work clean. And there's a lot of instruction for us on what the heck that means to work clean. It's not just avoiding naughty words. And so you should come because you don't like it when I do not clean comedy.
I would love that. That is my ideal situation.
That's your ideal situation.
For so many reasons.
I know. Not just me, but everybody. You like to make other people feel uncomfortable, my open, but you don't like to feel uncomfortable in public.
I certainly don't.
You remember that show Californication?
Mm-hmm.
That is the reason that we drink whiskey when I finish a book?
Yep.
Didn't that show make you uncomfortable, Andrew?
Why would that show make me uncomfortable?
Oh, my God.
I watched it by myself.
Okay, that's what I'm wondering. That's what I'm wondering. Is you don't like being uncomfortable around public people. Like, you can handle nasty humor and shit when you're not in public.
Absolutely.
Okay, that's what I suspect. That's literally my question. Because that show is nasty. You told me to watch it back in the day, and I needed something to binge, and it was great binging material. But shoot, dog. I was like, oh no. You and your brother watched this as adolescents? Oh my God. That was the kind of show, like, if my kids were in the house, I would have to close my laptop. I couldn't even have it running. It's just sexy.
That would be mortifying, as if someone walked in mid-Californication. Right. Okay, so that's funny. All right, so I understand this. So yeah, holiday clean. You know what? Local people put it on your. I think maybe because it's a competition. You said November 17th.
It's a Sunday at the South Club Landmark, and I think that it matters. I'll let you know. I think that you can get free passes through my name, and then I think I'll find out. Most of the competitions work like that, and then I get a certain number of free passes, and they look at how many people I bring. Mm-hmm. It doesn't hurt.
When they look at the number of people you bring, do you get extra points for more people, or are they? Because I would think that they're just trying to get people in there. It seems like Comedy Works is always giving away tickets for birthdays, for offices, for everything. It seems like the name of the game is bring people in.
Absolutely. Then you're stuck there with your 2-drink minimum. Suck it up. Yeah, I don't know for sure how that works for the competition. I've never entered one of the competitions before. There's a huge bracketed New Faces competition. Now we're in the second round, and it's really cool, and it's competitive as heck, and I have never even thrown my hat in that ring because, like, I'm not that funny, and I don't want to be judged. But this one, I was like, I can do clean comedy, and I should, and my teenager stuff is funny, and
around the holidays, you might have people in there with teenagers, more so than you would during the week.
P.S. also South Club.
Mm-hmm.
Always. I want to be up there so bad because that's way more totally suburban, middle-aged people. Absolutely. So anyway, so I'm psyched for that. And then, so I don't know how it works in terms of like, if you bring people, if it counts, how it counts. They explain the judges. There'll be judges. And I don't think the audience really has much to do with it other than laughing and cheering. So anyway, I will want to pack the house with people who think I'm hilarious, for sure. But it's November 17th, so come on out. You will love the clean comedy, and you can walk there.
I fantasize about having nights out where I can walk home.
Golly.
Because there aren't that many.
No, not for you. Not for me here at the Dollhouse. There used to be at the homestead, there were plenty of places we could go to that seemed viable and fun and I could walk home. Not. Although, can I tell you what I saw on the way to the Dollhouse today?
What?
I've been walking a full hour in the mornings.
That's good.
Have you been running?
Off and on. This week I haven't done anything.
Once recently you mentioned running, and that I meant to ask you. That's pretty impressive, Mr. Bridges.
It's something I'm kind of dipping my toe into the water.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's fun. I got some new fancy pants from Dick's Sporting Goods.
Pants? Running pants?
Nope. They're shorts with built-in underwear.
It's a skort?
Kinda.
Yep.
Kinda, but it doesn't. I mean, a skort it pretends to be a skirt.
I'm just saying.
And these are shorts that pretend to be shorts.
I'm sitting here feeling comfortable right now because of that. Isn't it comfortable? Mm-hmm. Okay, so you got running pants, shoes. Did you have to invest in new shoes?
No, I got shoes a while ago, but it's about time for a new pair.
Yeah.
I'm just
to run.
I'm this cold weather, this changing of the seasons is bittersweet, as it always is in the changing of the seasons. The sweetness is now I can ride my motorcycle and it's not 100 degrees on the road, and I'm not arriving everywhere in a pool of my own sweat.
Also, why I can record the book, by the way. I didn't want the idea of spending hour after hour out here in that sweaty studio in July and August was not good. This is a wintertime activity.
I wonder if that's coming through in the recording. It has to be. That's pretty loud.
That's pretty loud. It's a siren.
You're at the Dollhouse. That's the first siren I think we've had on
this show.
On mic.
Which is today anyway, you've been running. I've been walking. Partly because I need it for my brain. Calm. Calm. So I was walking like 20 minutes and I thought, just do the whole damn hour, right? That's so good for me. My brain mostly can't hurt my body. As I was leaving my house today at a pretty late hour, it was like 8:30. 20 paces north of me, the block at 8:30 in the morning is shut off with squad car at the south, squad car at the north, cherry lights going off, somebody in the middle of the body with putting on gloves, going in for an investigation of some kind. Don't know. Went on my hour walk, came back, it was gone.
The old body cavity search?
Don't know. Or was it the mortician car that was there? I couldn't tell. Don't know. But they're like 8:30 in the morning, right outside of my house.
It's all happening at the Dollhouse.
Something's always shaking on Shakedown Street. Then, on my way to the Dollhouse, which was my loop, I walked south, about 20 minutes south of here. I've talked about how 7 minutes south of here, you've never walked it with me, we got to do it, is nature. You can't believe it, how much nature there is right there. I mean, and it's changing with the seasons, so it is like amber waves of grain. It's like this grassy, swampy area. I keep walking in a direction I've never quite gone before. There is this beautiful manicured park, perhaps with sports fields, but I couldn't even tell. It was just like wide open, beautifully manicured grass, and this piece of water. So I'm following like a little kind of ditch, I would call it, because I grew up in the country, like a stream. It's a ditch. And I'm following it going, that's why I didn't have to paddleboard on. And I'm walking for a bit here. And then I go,
real nut paddleboarding in this neighborhood down the ditch.
Okay, hold on. So then the little tributary opens into quite enough space to paddleboard on.
Mm-hmm.
And I am on my morning walk this morning scheming, how can I get in this water? And then I walked the whole way around this little lake thing.
It's water that doesn't look bad. You wouldn't mind.
I don't want to swim in it. I don't want to get in it, but I mean, fine. I'm not going to fall off my board. I don't get in the water when I paddleboard. If I fell in it, I wouldn't love it. It's probably shallow and gross, but it's fine. It's water. I walked the whole thing. They don't want you to access that water, but you could do it. And there are 0 signs up around there saying you can't go in that water or on that water. There's one sign that says non-potable, do not drink it. Fine, not going to drink it. Andrew, I have that cart with the wheels.
You can wheel your paddleboards.
Boom,
I was
boom,
thinking
boom.
about that.
Right there. I found my put in place. I don't even think it's illegal. And it's 15, 20-minute walk from here.
Just be careful, because you're living in this neighborhood. You've got the...
It's not in my neighborhood. Right there, it's in a nice neighborhood.
Well, here's what I'm saying is you got the junkies on one side. You got the hipsters on the other.
Yep, the hipsters.
As soon as people see you paddleboarding in this water, that secret spot is not going to be a secret anymore, because there's going to be 20 or 30 longbeards out there with their artisanal...
paddleboards made out of foam that they crafted in their garage.
Correct.
Fine. Maybe they want to date me. They sound like interesting men with their beards. I don't mind a beard. Yeah, okay, fine. Then if I'm the trailblazer and I open that spot, it's cool. I've always said I won't go paddleboarding at Wash Park because gross, the water. Similar to that. I think it's like that. It's about the size of the lake at Wash Park. People do that all the time. They take paddle boats where they rent them and shit.
I've done that. It's super fun.
I know. It's fine. Paddle boats are really dumb. Don't you want to do that with me?
Not in your neighborhood.
Come on. It's not my neighborhood. I'm telling you, 20-minute walk from here. Do you know what I'm saying? I mean, we've already given it away. Nobody cares. It's Lowry. It's not gross. It is beautiful, Andrew. It is manicured. It's right by whatever. Everybody knows where I live. You can look it up. Big Bear Ice Arena. Mm-hmm. It's real bougie. You're right. The people, all it's going to do is cause a stir, and people are going to. I'm going to be the hero of the neighborhood if I go over there, or else they're going to come after me. There's nothing there that says you can't go in or on that water. I looked. I circumnavigated the lake.
Will you? I mean, the days are getting colder.
I know.
Will you do this week since you've already?
Will
finished?
You come with me?
Heck no.
Come on.
You've already finished
Andrew,
your book. You got nothing else going on.
You're always up for a caper. Are you getting fucking soft on me with capers?
I sure am.
God damn it. Are you still eating capers with your bagels?
I am. I am. Why do you know about that? I've never mentioned my capers.
I've seen you eat a bagel. Andrew, come on. This is a caper. This is a project that needs a partner.
No.
I can't believe it. Why?
I mean, yes, and that's what I'm supposed to say.
It's not me. It needs a partner, but it's not you. Well, hell, we've just talked about how wild and crazy Delany is now with her motorcycle. Maybe it's her.
It could be.
She doesn't like paddleboarding, but maybe she likes breaking rules. What is it? Because you think it's breaking a rule?
I don't know. There's something feels weird about being shirtless in the middle of a city park.
Why would you be shirtless?
Why wouldn't I be? I'd be on a paddleboard.
It's not that warm. We're not going in the water. I'm not going to be in a swimsuit.
I'm going in the water.
No, you probably wouldn't want to. It's gross. Well, you mean because you'd fall?
Accidentally.
We would be real careful. You don't normally fall. It's not like it could get wavy. It's like glass. It's like a pond. God,
maybe. I don't know. I don't think that's for me.
Oh,
if this was Shark Tank, I'd have some long thing, and I'd say for this reason, I'm out.
I know. I wish I knew what the reasons were. It doesn't even matter, but that's very disappointing to me. That makes me feel a little alone in the world. Who is my second person to go on capers with?
Who's your second? Do you ever think about who your second is? Like if you
Who's my second?
If you were in a duel and you died, who would avenge you? Who's your second?
You. No, I have kids. I have children. But a lot of times I think of you as my, if anything really shit went down, when I've been scared in the past year, there is a part of me that goes, I can always call Andrew. Right?
Of course.
But not for paddleboarding. Who is my second in the fun caper? Because not a lot of people who say they'll go paddleboarding with me can be as self-sufficient as you are. You know what I mean? They need help.
Right. You don't want to.
You know how the strappy straps work. Would you come and watch?
Yeah, I'd come and watch.
Okay. Because, yeah, I could do it in the next week if I didn't answer to your question. It was just a thought today, but now I'm raring to do it. Maybe George. Filholm.
Do you think there are any fish in this water?
I don't know.
Because I know
Probably.
your son's quite the angler.
He's the angler. Wait. How come that happened? Oh.
Probably because you didn't have your phone silenced.
I sure thought I had ringer silent.
This
is your brother.
I don't know what to say. Uh-oh. Boo him.
I know. No, he's sent him a picture of our celebration. He just chided me for choosing Warren Zevon's worst song. I picked the first one that came up on YouTube. We're not really.
I like my favorite Warren Zevon song.
Yeah,
and I'm listening to it like once a month because I don't want to kill the bunny.
Yeah.
Lawyers, Guns, and Money.
Oh my God, that's funny.
It makes me so happy every time. It does.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, I love listening to it once a month so you don't ruin it for yourself.
I do a little sing-along. Delany laughs every time.
Oh, that's nice. I have picked up on 0 of your recommendations, like YouTube recommendations. Nope. Not going to watch French guys cooking or cooking anything. Although, oh my God, Andrew, do you want to see the pickles I have for you?
Heck yes, I do.
They're pickled green tomatoes.
Oh, I like the sound of that. I think I had some pickled.
There were some maybe mixed in
the first batch
because they had fallen off the vine. Were they good? They were good.
They're delicious.
Now because it's just funny. Now it's getting colder at night. It certainly hasn't frozen, and I can leave my produce out there. But it's just funny how the growth has slowed down, and those tomatoes are just taken. I mean, as you know, I've talked about it. Like I was picking 10 tomatoes off the vine at red and fighting the squirrels every day. And now the green ones are not getting much bigger, and they're not getting much more red. So I harvested a bunch of them before a huge storm and cold, and I pickled green tomatoes. They're really good.
Well, it's this weather. We've got like 30 degree temperature swings every day. It starts off 40 degrees in the morning. It warms up to 70 by 5 o'clock. And then it slowly creeps its way back down again.
Even on my walk today, I wore mittens, little cotton mittens, and then had to take them off, plus my Patagonia sweater. Like then I'm walking in a tank top, and then it got cold again because it got cloudy. I'm not complaining. I got sick of being hot. I always get a little freaked out when summer ends.
Right. That's where I am. It is so nice to be able to go outside and not melt.
Yep.
But it does make me sad because the days are short.
Yeah. And like I said, this backyard is going to be, although you know what? There is a certain amount. It's not going to be less work owning a house because there's always stuff, but I don't have a sidewalk to shovel. Hooray. Mm-hmm. I mean, I have my little entrance for the mailman, but whatever. And, there's going to definitely be stuff. Oh, I have to deal with my gutters here pretty soon, for sure. Clean them out. Never done that before. Don't even really know what that involves.
You have a good ladder?
I have an okay ladder.
Yeah.
I think I can do it.
That's one of those things. It's not hard to do. It's just a pain in the butt.
Yep, I can do that. So anyway, point being, there is a certain amount of relief right now. I have to admit that I don't have to be constantly watering so much.
Mm-hmm.
Like right?
Right. Lawns make me feel guilty because it never looks good enough, and I feel bad that I'm not doing a good job of growing
and
grass.
My gardens and the flowers, just all of it, like the relentless. My God, the cruel mistress of my garden this summer, and like really, somebody said,
she's demanding.
Yeah, she is. She's a bitch. She really showed off in the end, but my God, she's a cruel mistress. Somebody said something about, did you go paddleboarding on 4th of July? And I was like, no, I'm pretty sure I did yard work on 4th of July. I did yard work. I'm still doing yard work. I still got to deal with a lot of it, but there is a certain admitted relief to like, I don't have to come home and weed. The weeds are growing less fast. Like, honestly, right? So there's a certain, okay, it's time to be dormant. I only have one big tree that I'm going to have to rake some leaves, and I'm going to have to put the garden to bed and throw maybe 1 or 2 more days of the garden waste. Okay?
You got a little compost heap you're working with?
No, I don't have a compost heap. I'm not composting in this neighborhood. Nope. Too many critters.
The homeless are composting in your alley right now.
But people do, but I'm not doing it. No, it's just stuff like, the truth is that I think at leaf time, you get those big leaf bag and you go and you take down your sunflower stalks and put them in there. And then there's drop-off places. I've done that before for Denver, city of Denver. That'll be fine. So it's just been a lot like, because I actively gardened this year for the first time in in my adult life, really, I was just always amazed by how many bags of crap.
Right.
I was always pulling out weeds and whatnot. Gosh, I feel like once again this is really fascinating content. I just wanted to follow up on a couple of reader mails. Andrew, follow up.
Please do.
I don't know. Where are they? I sent them to you. Here we go.
We had one person recommend a beer.
Yeah. Where was it? That was before the funny thing happened. Okay, well, first of all, I'm going to shout out, both of these are friends of mine from high school who are listeners to our show. Can you stand it? Val Durfee says that she's behind on the podcast, but she has thoughts about magicians versus other performers. She sent this to me a while ago. We forgot to do any follow-up last week. Magicians deal in lies, comedians and actors deal in truths. The girl gets me, doesn't she? That's what I was saying about being wonky and freaked out by Penn and Teller and your magic thing. That's exactly what I feel like. I'm being duped by them, their lies. And an actor ultimately is trying to get at the truth. Some people think acting is about lying, faking. It's not. Bad actors are fakers.
Well, depending on the magician, acting, magic, they're all tools. You can use them for good or evil.
We're all tools up there doing that stuff, I'll tell you that. That much is clear. No, you're right. Absolutely right. There are different ways of being entertained, but I love that Val wrote about that. And Christine, do you see it?
It's
Maybe
not
I've even
in Slack,
texted
so
it
it must
to
be
you.
in
Did
my...
I put it in follow-up? Oh, my
must be in
God.
the text message machine.
Oh, my God. Christine, I don't know her married last name. Christine Del Robeson, I believe is her married name. Anyway, she sent us a beer called Bring the Ruckus Beer. She sent a picture of it that said they should be our sponsor. We should get on that right away.
Boy, should they.
Huh? Boy, should they, yeah. And they said, why should they? Why not? They really should. And she also pointed out, and I have seen it, there is a local, I believe, brewery that puts Mama Bear Brew together. Tal Filholm gave you some for your birthday last year, actually.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like a sweet beer, I think. Anyway, I need also them to maybe sponsor some of this situation.
That's right. When you do your book release, you should get them to donate the beer.
Definitely definitely working on a thing. We'll have follow-up about that for any local people who want to come, By the way, we're going to have to work on our schedule next week because I think okay, that's me hitting my pop filter with my glasses. It's problematic. I'm going out of town again, I think, next week, which will be done and in the can by the time this releases.
That's right. You'll be home.
Be home.
And the what do you call the shed with all the sharp implements? The
armory.
The armory. Mm-hmm. The armory is full. Filholm's home. Mm-hmm. Do not rob her.
And I will have a house sitter the whole time watching my camera. I can from Seattle. I can talk to the zombies in my alley, by the way, when the camera... That's the cool function, right?
I don't think we mentioned just how alarming the sound is that your camera makes.
Yeah, it is, isn't it?
When I pull up on the motorcycle, I don't remember it because I've tried to block the... It's alarming. It's scary. It's a terrifying noise it makes. And then that noise causes you to look at it, and that's when it's got you. That's when the people at the CIA start running your face against their database of faces.
Hell yeah, that's exactly right. You're looking right at it. I know, and I got to choose the tone, and I chose the one that was most alarming. You can do a nicer one, like a doorbell. Oh no, I know. And the funny thing is,
I thought you would have picked something like Brick House.
I didn't get a chance. Oh my gosh. If I could pick a ringtone for it, like my alarm. The funny thing is that how annoying it gets. Like, I had the handyman come and look at the idea of residing my garage because I feel like this building is going to fall apart. And when you're out there walking back and forth at you a lot. And so I'm like, okay, I got to dismantle that while he's working out there on this project. Mm-hmm. And then I think I told you off air last week that it records everything once the alarm goes off. I think it records all the time. But it records those as events. So anytime there's activity there, it records like the whatever minute or two around the camera going off and sends it to me. So I got to hear this conversation with me and this guy who's just here to be the handyman and like use tools and do smart solutions to things. And
use tools and do smart solutions to things?
Because here's my thought. This wood out here is really rotting and I just need a solution to keep it from weathering further. I don't really care what it looks like. So I'm saying to him out there, and it's recorded on video going, my instinct is just buy a couple of tarps and paint a big mural on it, whatever. I'm just saying I'm willing to go that janky. So any step you take me in will be appreciated. Handyman who can cut wood and use tools. I just don't feel like it. I'm sure I could. No, I don't know. Anyway, so we have this on video, me going, I was thinking of painting on tarps. And he goes, tarps? And that's about the end of his conversation. Like, crazy lady? No. That's a bad idea. So he wants to recite it. I think he doesn't want to recite it because that sounds like a pain in the ass. But cooler days will help handymen feel better about their tasks as well. Really. Because
Yeah,
working out in the
well.
heat is gross.
Boy, is it. I can't imagine that. So I don't know, and maybe you can help me because you have a lot more experience with handymen. Where does a job leave the handyman realm and enter into the specialist realm?
Well,
Because
he tells me about that.
I know there are siding companies, and that's all they do, and they'll probably come and do it in an afternoon.
Well, he recommended that. I know how much that costs because my house was sided and I have all of the warranties and stuff, and I've had them come because of the gutters. It's very, very expensive.
Mm-hmm.
My security fence in the back and my horse fence in the front, which really, I know you haven't seen the front of my house very much because you come through the back and so do I. It's kind of funny on my block how much my big white fence looks like a little bit out of place. It's funny.
Right. It looks like you've got your house in Kentucky.
Horse property. I love it, and it goes at the house, and like the houses to the north and south of me are nice, and actually sort of the first 3 or 4 houses on this end of the block are nice, but then down that block it gets so bad that I go, my house looks so weird. Anyway, for that I hired the specialty fence company, vinyl fence. Screw it. Because handymen will build a fence for you, or a fence company, and I went, screw it, I'm doing that. Siding, wrap, that's what I'm saying. I want a cost-effective solution to wrapping this garage, and that's what I said to him. In fact, I said, I found these like travertine sheets. Will you just come and put these on?
What's travertine?
I don't know, some kind of plastic shit.
Huh.
Like tiled, plastic,
Do you like use a heat
vinyl.
gun and melt it onto the...
No. It's like big sheets of, it's
and
like
it's
big
sticky?
sheets of plastic.
It's got an adhesive on it? How does it stick?
You screw it in.
Oh, you screw
Siding.
Okay.
It's like panels.
Sure.
It's like plastic panels. And you can get them look like stone. Stupid. I'm like, fine, my garage. I don't care. It's funny, actually, if it looks like stone.
Yeah, that'd be great.
He's against all of this. He's like, you just go, you rip off all these boards. I buy new boards. I put them up there. You paint them. You have a new garage. I'm like, but why don't I do vinyl so I don't have to paint them and they last forever? He's like, a lot more expensive. Okay, that's fine. So anyway, he was clear to me. He's clear to me going, I'm not doing electrical. He actually said, I won't paint this garage for you. So I guess a handyman gets to choose what his jobs are, and I appreciate that. Like, I want you to be within your realm of expertise. I met another comic. Now, I know that my track record with hiring other comics has been zero. That guy never showed up. But there is another comic out there who swears that he's a really, really good painter. And I'm like, that sounds like a winter job, not my garage, but like indoors, I do need my bedrooms. I'll probably just end up doing it myself.
Did we talk about painting on the show? That's my grandpa's measure of a person.
Oh, what?
Paint it, whether or not they can paint. So my grandfather's a landlord, and he often trades rent credit for handyman type stuff. So he's had,
he said he could send me some handymen.
In his handyman,
Grandpa's my guy.
He's between a handyman and a hard place, because his handyman just got a job with a dispensary.
All of it. That's perfect. The handymen are always going to get a job with a dispensary. That tracks 100%. Okay. So his job, like if you can paint a room well.
Right. And there are people who, they paint so slowly that you get drips in your wall. There are people who paint too thin. They don't put enough paint on the wall. And he's got, he can tell everything he needs to know about a person by how they paint.
Can you imagine how I paint?
All over the place.
No, I paint really well. But yeah, I drip a lot. My problem, I'm a real good I hate it so much. I hate painting walls. I'm going to have to do it myself. That's not something worth hiring out. But, oh, God. Anyway, those seem like indoor projects feel like for winter, like painting rooms of the house. Garage, we got to probably get done before the snow falls. West Portico, I still need to winterize that a little bit more. I think I'm going to have to get some...
I think garage can wait. It doesn't need to happen before the snow falls because we've got so many dry days. It's not like...
No, you're right.
It's not an issue.
No, it's not. And the handyman's even like, it's not going to fall down this year. I know.
You could even... Another grandpa's, you could just scrape the loose and put
No, that's my problem. And I mentioned that to him is like, that was my approach is we're just going to come and scrape the loose. I thought of your grandpa. Nope. If you scrape the loose on these boards, Andrew, the boards come off. We're beyond scrape the loose.
Scrape the loose, add some nails. I don't know. There's a way to jerry rig.
I think so. I think hanging tarps around it for a couple of years, and I paint big, cool Jesus murals.
That might be nice. Your alley
I
could become a
mean,
destination. Maybe you
I've
don't want that.
told
You don't
you
want
that.
kind of attention.
No, I want a spiritual destination. A prayer circle is welcome.
The
I don't know.
best place to park your car after you pick up a hooker.
Yeah.
At the Dollhouse on
I
Shakedown
know.
Street.
I think we're changing that. We're changing the pattern. We're changing the traffic patterns thanks to the camera and me putting wine. I'm going to go drop wine like Art Drop Denver, Art Drop Day. I'm going to do a wine drop day. I'm going to put it on. They seem to be running on the gig economy because there's a lot of cars outside on my street sitting there working the gig economy.
I bet there's an app for that for sure.
That's what I'm saying. I think maybe they're working off of an app for prostitution and or drug dealing because it feels very gig economy. There is a guy out in front of my house, several hours a day. Not the same guy. Sometimes this one guy shows up often, but I'm like, they're running an app. They're running a app.
How do you scare him off? Do you like walk out onto your front porch and shoot a shotgun in the air and say
nothing scares those guys off? The police can drive right by. They don't leave.
Don't come around here no more, buddy.
No, and I also don't know why would I say that? Do you know what I mean? What harm is he doing, I guess? Sometimes people in the neighborhood come out and say, there's kids in the neighborhood, move along. But literally a guy sitting in his car with a couple of other guys in the car, I think it might be hard to, I guess, as long as they're not. I called the cops because a guy was sitting in the car for so long and a woman kept getting in and out and I think going to turn tricks and it just made me uncomfortable. But I'm not kidding. They don't mean me any harm. Nope. I have seen squad cars drive right by.
Do you feel like you're the one trespassing?
No. No. I can see why you say that.
Well, I'm sure
doing business here.
I'm sure he's been here longer than you've owned the Dollhouse.
Maybe. No, I just don't understand how it works, and I swear to God, it feels like they're running off of an app. It's curious to me.
They probably are. They're probably Snapchatting. They've got pictures of.
Yeah, that's it. Oh yeah, just Snapchatting. Anyway, I don't know where it goes, but I still think the idea. See, that's the problem I think with a good handyman who's like a professional, is that the thought of wrapping a tarp around the shed is too janky for him. Like that is crazy lady stuff. But I had one handyman who was too creative. Right? He was more interested in like making an art project for my fence. So it's a real fine line.
It is a fine line. I feel like you want the handyman who follows orders. You don't want him to be so. I mean, this person who says no to the tarp, that's kind of crossed the line. I want someone who takes my instructions and executes them.
Okay, he also did another thing like that the very first time when I hired him. I mean, so far it's been great. My plumbing is amazing. But I said, okay, I'm going down the punch list, and I said, I want you to drill a hole in this glass tile in my kitchen so I can hang a picture here. And he did argue. He was like, why would you do that? Don't drill a hole. He's like, get a command strip. And I was like, no, I want to hang this floating frame.
Maybe that's smart. Maybe
that's what I'm saying. I know, right? So he would have done it, right? If I said, no, I want you to drill the thing. I'm sure he would have been like, all right, I was like, I don't trust myself to drill with a masonry bit. I don't trust myself to do it. You know what I mean? I don't want to break the tile. And he's kind of going, I also don't want to break the tile. And why would you ruin the structural integrity of a glass tile or mortar by fricking drilling into it? Why don't you get a command hook? And my response was, because I have this cool floating frame and the hook, I tried that and the hook shows. And he goes, okay. And I said, all right, I can get a different frame. Right. So that's like, I think he would have done it, but that's how I feel like handyman, just do it. And he will, but I'm also asking him for advice. Like this is a guy I also said, I want to weatherproof my west portico. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to pay you to do it. What should I do? And he gave me advice on that. You know what I mean?
That's something we should talk about is this handyman thing. I've been on jobs personally as a consultant where I feel like I know better in certain cases. And in some situations, I have the agency to say
yes
and to make recommendations. No, you should not drill into the glass. And in other situations, it's like it's going to be so much less trouble for me and less trouble for them if I just keep that suggestion to myself.
I would love to have that conversation going forward because same as a creative, same as a writer, I will come to you with my recommendation. And sometimes it's like, in my mind, a black and white situation. It's a grammatical situation. And I am sometimes overridden and I just go, okie dokie, we will use that comma there. Mm-hmm. But far not worth, yeah. And when do you have the agency and when are you trusted? I told you I recently had a writing job that they went, thanks, awesome, zero Zero response, zero iteration, zero follow-up like, thanks, great, thanks for send us your invoice. That's a dream client. But also it was kind of disorienting, like, wow. I think that's a great thing to talk about going forward is how, also that's a communication thing for other human beings, not just work and.
Yeah, it is a communication thing. Is when do you fall into line, and when do you speak out? And
what hill is worth it to die on?
Sure.
When is it worth it to sweat the small stuff, and when is it not?
And do you have to die on the hill in order to make your point?
Right. Well, a lot of times when you're the creative person, or when you're working with a client, a lot of times what you do is you give them the duck. You know what I mean? You give them an option so bad that you I mean, right, that's the thing is you sort of manipulate and you try to massage it and try to get your client or your boss to pick the one you know is right anyway.
Can you explain the duck?
Oh, yeah. Where's that from?
That's a Merlin Mann
is it?
That I think probably exists out in the creative world, like you said.
Right. So the idea is you're taking some creative project to the client, to the boss, to whatever, and you give them the one that you and your team are 100% behind, which you're hoping they will choose. You know, you give them another option B that is perhaps viable as far as you're concerned, but, definitely not as exciting. And then you give them the duck, which is the bullshit option that like nobody in a million years will take, just to give them an option to say no to something. Right?
Mm-hmm.
That's my understanding of the duck. I've done it. I once had, however, at a job in my recent years where the client took the duck. And the three of us who were on the creative team went, oh, no. The three communications professionals on this team, on this project, recommended A, and the two not creative people took option C. And that's funny. It rarely happens that way. You're doing that to massage the communication. Oh, golly, that's boring. Got anything else?
I don't have a damn thing. You gave me a whiskey. You gave me a beer, and my mind is.
And we're recording in the afternoon.
Ever so gently drifting to sleep.
We started this. We started this podcast last winter. By the way, that was winter. We talked about being cold a lot. Mm-hmm. We'll get there again. We used to record exactly now in the evenings on Thursday nights, and now we've been recording in the morning. Maybe we're sharper, but I asked you to come tonight because I wanted you to drink a beer with me and celebrate my book. So thanks. And Delany's a dance.
Congratulations on your book.
Thank you. I can't wait. By now, everybody, all the readers at home, please go buy that book. In fact, don't buy one book. Buy 10 of them for your friends. They are so funny. That's the kind of thing you should carry around in your glove compartment. And if you see a parent, like if you're in that stage of life, just like tearing her hair out about a kid, just hand it to her.
That's a life hack. My mother, she's always got cards on hand just in case. Maybe a birthday creeps up or whatever. You've just got a little stock of decent cards that you wouldn't mind giving somebody. And you can't go wrong. Just having some coloring books in stock just in case one of your friends has a story about how their son or daughter sucks.
Yep.
Here you go.
I am sure your mother also has, like I do, a little collection of things like candles and tea towel gifts. Hostess gifts or birthday gifts,
probably. Right?
We all have those things. I have right now. When my cousins were here, we did a little Colorado touristing, and so I have a couple of cool hats from Colorado just in case somebody visits. Like good touristy. I got a couple of bags, like tote bags that say real cute Colorado stuff. Mm-hmm. So I've always got that. This is perfect for the gift stash because you've got friends with teenagers. Everybody does. The other thing is if you were a teenager yourself. Somebody said,
that'd be funny if a teenager gave it to their parents.
Filled out. Like, these are the things I did.
That'd be great.
That would be funny.
that would actually be very funny. Someone in their 20s who has enough awareness of all the shitty things they did to their parents to fill one out and give it to their mother or father.
I know. One of the things I'm thinking about doing for my launch party, whether it's before Christmas or aft, is I do stand up about the teenagers, as you know, and I do my show, and I'm thinking about having a couple of other comics come and do their shit because other people talk about being parents, and then depending on schedules and whatever, it occurred to me that there might be some younger comics who would come and do shtick about their terrible teens, or like, this is what happens when you're a terrible teen. Here's my, that could be funny.
Yeah.
One woman saw the preview of the book on my social media, and she still has little kids who are nice to her, but she said, I'm tempted to fill this out on myself. Like, oh my gosh.
Oh, yeah,
So
absolutely.
yeah, that would be funny. That would be a very funny, or sit around. You know what? It could be like a Cards Against Humanity
It's a party game.
It is a party game. Open the pages and tell on yourself the things.
That'd be fun. That's actually a thing I don't think exists, which is if you've got 12 people from, they're maybe not close friends, but they just met at a party. If they put together a memory book of their individual memories from their childhood, and that became like a tangible reminder of this party, think about that for a second. That's a cool product that I don't think exists.
Nope. I don't know that I want to memorialize parties, but why not? Maybe.
Maybe it's a corporate bonding thing. I don't know.
Totally. No, you're right. Well, Andrew, maybe that's the next product. I don't know.
No, because your audiobook is, you goober.
What?
Your audiobook is the next product. Yeah. You already said it. You committed. You're making it happen. Otherwise, my cold open's a dirty lie.
I think that's next. But, well, it's next after we get a little buzz going about this book and then book some more Mama Bear gigs. Do you know why, Andrew? I need the money. Income. Yeah, because money. That's right. I got a few more months ahead of me to do all this if I need to, but I need to because money. And I do have a voiceover recording job either tomorrow or next Wednesday, so that's all good. And everybody who needs a voiceover or an announcing, they should. It's not. I'm begging. It's not ruckusy. Okay, well, we did what we could. And next week will probably be better. Right?
Well, it always is.
It always is. It's always better. We just keep getting better. All right. Goodbye, Andrew.
Goodbye, Mrs. Filholm.
How long was that? Forever?
Hour and 10 minutes.
Oh, God.
Of pure gold.
Pure gold!